Good morning and welcome to this short reflection. In today's Gospel reading, we see the wonderful story about what happens when we give everything to Jesus. We also see a subtle difference there. When we talk about the apostles following Jesus, did they give up their day jobs? Well, in this instance, they didn't. In this account, we understand that they didn't because you can hear that the apostles were still engaging in their fishing throughout their time with Jesus. Perhaps after this account, then they stopped doing their fishing, because as Jesus says, you will be fishing for men. And exactly that's what we need to do. We need to understand and try and bring men and women into the church. I think that's a key thing that we've been missing clearly in this day and age. A focus on evangelizing, a focus on bringing men and women to church, a focus on not just following ourselves, which is highly important, but also on bringing men and women to church. And we do that when we have confidence. We do that when we are inspired to do that, and we can see that as well in the lives of the saints, that we need to go out and bring men and women to church. We need to drop down our nets, and this is the very important part of following Jesus, an integral part of following Jesus. Rather than paraphrasing what's happened, let us continue to give our hearts and souls to Jesus, and a natural evidence, natural fruit from that is that we can see that men and women will want to join the church, men and women will have questions to join the church, and so we can continue to answer their questions, continue to share the gospel, and continue to live the life of faith, which will naturally bring in men and women to the church. Of course, questions remain how we can do that, and there's a number of ways. People love to go on and on about how the Holy Spirit will do it, but they fail to recognize, as far as I'm concerned, that it actually works through people. Yeah, Holy Spirit doesn't have hands except yours, and doesn't have a body except yours. Holy Spirit is not some magical force, but it is a spirit, it is the Holy Spirit, and it must work through someone, something. I was very blessed. Years ago, a man came to basically our parish, and he shared his story. He shared how he was following Jesus, and in that instance, I left everything and followed Jesus myself. So I truly am very blessed, and I give thanks to God for that encounter, and I take a responsibility on to share it with the men and women around me, and to go out of my way to share that message as well. And I pray that you can do the same, giving everything for Jesus, dropping our nets down into the deep, taking on those occasions that are not always comfortable, but embracing them and following through. May God bless you and your family.